Hi, I'm Simon Chappell. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach. And as always, I'm here to help you smash your sobriety. And I hope you are doing great. Today, I wanted to give you 7 tips to help you quit alcohol successfully. These are things that worked for me, and I want to share them with you to make sure that you're absolutely set for success. And make sure you stay tuned all the way through to number 7, because that was the one that really helped me and got me on the right track. So my first tip is all around what you believe about alcohol. Now, I never realised that we could have beliefs that are completely wrong. I thought everything I believed was completely true. But when I went through the experience of quitting drinking, I soon found out that some of the beliefs I had were holding me back and they were completely false. So what I would like you to do in this first step is to write down what you believe about alcohol. For me, I thought that alcohol helped me relax. I thought that nothing would be fun if I didn't have a drink. And I thought alcohol helped me de-stress. The list was actually a lot longer than that. But I want you to go through your own list and write them all out. Once you've done that, it's really important to get some absolute clarity on those beliefs. What's the truth around them? You need to act like a defence and a prosecution in a courtroom and rip the beliefs apart. So for example, alcohol helps me relax. So the defence might say, well, yeah, for about 30 minutes after I quit, I definitely feel more relaxed. And that's because the chemical reaction in your brain produces dopamine and you have that kind of euphoric feeling that makes you go, ah. Now, here's the funny thing. When I was drinking heavily, I actually started to feel a sense of relaxation before I even drank the alcohol. Even when I was opening the bottle of wine, that sense of relaxation would come over me. That proves that it was playing tricks with my mind. It wasn't the alcohol at all. This was all in my head. The prosecution for alcohol helps me relax might well say something along the lines of, well, okay, it helps you relax for 30 minutes, but for me certainly, after that time I started to forget things. I became grumpy and irritable as my brain was releasing depressant chemicals to try and counterbalance the dopamine that had been released. And then I would be aggressive, moody, snappy, you name it. And I would often be sick, I might fall up the stairs. The next day I've got a hangover, my anxiety's going through the roof, and of course I'm left with cravings to drink even more. Now none of that, to me, is relaxing. So the fact of the matter is that actually there's only about 30 minutes relaxation, which is completely fake anyway. So I now need to rewrite that statement because we can see that that belief statement is totally limiting. And trust me, if you can smash your beliefs away, it's like removing obstacles out of your path on the journey to being free from alcohol. This is so important in the process. I've seen people who've quit for long periods of time, but they never dealt with their beliefs and they still hang on to beliefs that alcohol would bring them some kind of benefit and end up going back to drinking. Whereas if you can completely change your mindset and your beliefs, you see no reason to drink. You become completely free. So you need to then write a new statement that actually reflects the truth, a new belief statement. Now, if you've had a break from drinking in the past and you have experienced true relaxation during that break, well, you can write a statement along the lines of, when I don't drink, I feel more relaxed than ever, because it's true, you've got the evidence. If you haven't had a break from drinking or you haven't experienced that, then you need to write a statement that actually reflects your situation. You can't write a false belief statement. It's got to be completely true. So a statement in that situation might be something along the lines of, alcohol helps me relax for 30 minutes, but I know after that time, it actually makes me more stressed. So that would be a true statement, and you're going to see how it feels by taking a break from alcohol, and then you can form a new statement. And once you've formed a belief statement, a new statement that doesn't hold you back, that's not going to limit you from being the best version of yourself, you then need to get out into the real world and actually experience it, almost like an assignment. You need to experience a period without drinking to see whether you feel more relaxed, to see whether you have more fun, to see whether you sleep better. Whatever the beliefs you hold are, you've got to go and get the evidence for those new statements to actually become totally solid and completely true for you. But you've got to get some clarity on what those beliefs look like so that you can smash them to pieces and form new healthy beliefs that aren't going to hold you back. My second tip is to write out a list of the pros and the cons of drinking. What's actually good about it? It's very similar to your beliefs that it helps you do this, it helps you do that. By the way, they're all completely wrong, they're all completely false. But write down the cons. The horrible stuff, the arguments, the sickness, the hangovers, the fact you're not motivated, the fact that you show up late for work, the fact that we smell when we drink alcohol, the fact that you've got no energy, the fact that you're snappy with your kids. Write out the list of the pros and cons and then reflect on that and see what information it gives you. For me, my list of pros had about 3 things in it and the list of cons was probably 30, 40 long. And when I got some real insight on that, it really started to tip the scales in the favour of an alcohol-free life, as I realised that what I was gaining from alcohol against what I was losing was absolutely monumental, and that a change was something I really did need to make. But until I started looking at this and gathering the data on myself, I had no clue. I didn't really think about it, and when anything uncomfortable came to mind, all I did was drink more, just to shut up my busy brain, just to silence the thoughts. And of course that kept me stuck in this hamster wheel, this cycle of just drinking every single day. And I drank every day for over 20 years. Anything from 1 to 3 bottles of red wine, often with beer on top. So if I can do this, you can do it too. And these days I'm a certified quit alcohol coach. I've written a book, The Sober Survival Guide. I run an awesome program which helps people quit drinking, and I'll tell you more about that later on because I think it may well be something that would work for you, and you can try it completely free as well. There's details in the description of this video if you want to check that out. My third tip is to stop telling yourself stories. It can keep you stuck if you do that. You need to stay fully present. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. I was telling myself things like, it's going to be boring if I don't drink. I'm not going to have any fun. Alcohol helps me sleep. I'm not going to sleep properly. My anxiety is going to be worse than ever if I don't drink because alcohol helps my anxiety, right? No, it was all completely wrong. And if we tell ourselves stories based on the past, which is, I've tried to quit drinking and I've failed, so I'm bound to fail again, that's exactly what's going to probably happen. You know, our expectations about something often turn into the experience we have. Whereas if you keep completely open-minded and just get really curious about everything that comes up for you, journal it all down, gather the information and be so open-minded as you go into this, then you're not getting wrapped up in stories. Think about times in the past where you've told yourself stories that something terrible was going to happen. How many times has it actually come true? It's pretty rare that it actually does. So try and stay in the now, and when you catch yourself telling yourself stories, pause for a moment. Get your journal out, write it down, get some truth and some clarity around what you're saying. Look at the evidence, look at the times that those stories you've given yourself have actually turned into reality. It's pretty rare that they actually do. And we're all guilty of doing it. We tell ourselves stories all the time. We often give ourselves negative self-talk as well and beat ourselves up. We would never talk to our best friend in that same way, but we do it to ourselves. So when you catch yourself doing those things, just take a moment to pause and start to get really mindful about it and ask yourself what's going on with that. How much truth is there in what you're saying or what you're doing? Meditation can be really awesome for becoming more mindful and learning to empty your head of uncomfortable thoughts and to really stay in the present moment. So if you don't practice meditation, check out one of the meditation apps like Calm or Headspace, and you only need to give 10 minutes a day investment into it. It's not huge amounts of time, and believe me, as you practice that more and more, you will become more and more present in that moment right now. Now, my fourth tip is that you should take things at a pace that feels right for you. When I quit, I decided I never wanted to drink again. I wasn't drinking again, that was it. I'd ended the toxic relationship, and that was what felt right for me. But thinking about a lifetime without alcohol, it seems like a very long time. So it can be better to just take it in smaller steps. Break it down into chunks. You don't need to tell yourself this is forever. You might make a commitment to say, well, I'm going to take a break from drinking for 14 days, 30 days, something like that. And then at the end of that, I'm going to see how I feel and I'm going to make another decision. I know people who are over 12 months sober and they still do it in chunks. They just add another 3 months or whatever on the end of that period when they reach it. So think about what might work for you. What sort of chunks you could really truly commit to, where it feels comfortable, where it feels like it's not going to be some kind of torturous challenge, but something that feels right, like a really good fit. You don't need to say, I'm quitting forever, this is a lifetime obligation I've made to myself. And by the way, there is no deprivation in quitting drinking. It's a complete illusion. We feel like that at the time, like we're losing something and life is going to be worse. It absolutely isn't. And you can watch the other videos on my channel to hear more about what changed for me, what's changed for the many, many people that I've worked with on the path to becoming free from alcohol. They can't all be lying. They must all be telling the truth. There's thousands of people share their stories about this, and I never hear anybody complaining about being sober. I only hear people complaining about the relationship they've got with alcohol when they're still drinking. Now, my fifth tip is also really important. When you quit drinking, you need to change your own game. You need to write a new story. And you can do that by making sure you do something totally different. So if you've been used to going to the pub with your friends, or you have people round who are heavy drinkers, you need to change it. You need to write a new story. When I first quit drinking, I stayed away from anywhere that I thought I might be triggered to drink or where people might tempt me or pressure me for about 6 to 8 weeks. And that was important. I was being really kind to myself. You need to switch it up. So if you've got a Wednesday night card game in the pub that you always go to, you need to be disciplined and plan something else. Take the dog for a walk, go to the cinema, go to the movies, join an exercise class, join a book club, whatever you need to do. The world is massive. There's infinite possibilities. Try and think back to your passions, the things that really light you up, that you enjoy, that when you do them, you lose track of time because there's so much fun and you're so immersed in it. That's what you want to be doing over those first few weeks. Stay away from anywhere that causes triggers or you may feel pressured to drink. What are the people that might trigger you to drink? The locations. It could even be just driving past a particular store, in which case, go a different way. Discipline yourself and make sure you connect with people so that you've got support around you. We'll get to that in a moment. But that also is really, really important. So my sixth tip is about determination. You often hear people say, well, you can quit without willpower. Well, actually, I believe you do need a little bit of willpower in that first week and maybe a little bit in the second week too, because you will probably have cravings and uncomfortable thoughts coming up and you need to dig deep to get through it. So it's important to know that you actually can do that. And a great way of doing it is to write down a time in your life when you have been so determined to do something. And what I mean by that is a time when you set your mind to doing something, decided to do it, and nothing was going to get in your way. So it could be moving house. Moving house is challenging, right? Especially if you're buying it. And it could be something like changing jobs, a new career, moving to a new city. It could be having a baby, or it could be running a marathon or completing a long distance event. Whatever it is, I'm sure there's a time in your life when you were absolutely determined to do something. You set out to do it and nothing was getting in your way. And you put in the work, you went over the obstacles and you made it happen. By writing that down and knowing that you do have the determination to commit to doing something and see it through, you can draw strength from that and know that you are the sort of person who can make a commitment, who is determined and who can see challenging things through to their conclusion. Now, It could be anything, but do think about times in your life when you've been determined, and no matter what was going to come up, nothing was going to get in your way. You were going to smash those barriers down. And trust me, the barriers when you quit drinking are really in the first week or two. That's where there's the most discomfort. After that, it really becomes a joyous journey. So this isn't some kind of torture over 6 to 12 months. It's just a short period where you experience discomfort. Now, my 7th tip, which is what really unlocked the door to sobriety for me, was expanding my knowledge, making sure I had support, making sure I became accountable, and that I had the right tools and the right tactics around me. Now that sounds like a whole bunch of things, and there's lots of sober books, mine included, that will give you guidance on what you need and what the best tools for you might be. But you can also join my quit drinking program. You can join it totally free for 14 days to check if it feels right for you, if it's like a good fit, and that will give you what you need. There's an awesome audio course with over 80 lessons. There's a free copy of my book. There's a small members only Facebook group where you can get accountability. You can connect with other people on the same journey. It gives you everything you need and a whole lot more, including support directly from me and other coaches as well. So you can reach out anytime. And it's really low cost. If you decide after the free trial that, yeah, I love this, which I'm confident you will, it doesn't cost a lot. It's less than 2 bottles of red wine every month. So there's no reason for you not to try that. And there's a link on the screen right now and in the description of this video. I would love you to try it, and I would love you to tell me exactly what you think, because I'm confident that that will give you everything that I found myself in a whole bunch of different places that really helped me get to that place where I felt like I was truly free from alcohol, and alcohol had become insignificant and unimportant in my life. So if you've not already tried the program, because quite a few people have, and they're enjoying it and they're taking big steps to becoming free, then definitely check it out. Like I say, you can test it 14 days completely free. You don't have to pay anything. And if you think, yeah, this is awesome, then absolutely you can carry on and you can stay part of a wonderful community. And if not, you pay nothing. So there's no reason for you not to give it a try. So I hope those 7 tips will help you through the first couple of weeks after you quit drinking. You can reach out to me anytime. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, because there's 2 new ones every week, and I often put bonus ones right here on YouTube. And if you need any support, just reach out to me, send me a message, connect with me on Instagram or Facebook, or you can leave a comment here on YouTube, because my goal, my passion in life is to help you quit drinking, and I want to make sure you do that with a massive smile on your face.